Welcome to the introductory video on solving two-step algebraic equations. With any type of algebraic equation, the goal is to get a letter on one side of the equation or variable on one side of the equation and get that equal to a number or a constant on the other side of the equation. So you want to get a letter equal to a number, or it could be switched around and have a number equal to a letter. If we look at our first example here, we have 5x plus 3 is equal to 28, which really means 5 times any number plus 3, or 5 times a number plus 3 is equal to 28. Well, the first thing you want to do is you want to undo or do the opposite of your addition or your subtraction. So if we take a look at this, we have the variable x, and on the same side of the variable x, we're taking that number times 5, adding 3, and that's equal to 28. Well, we're going to undo the addition or subtraction first. To undo adding 3, if I gain 3 pounds, the way to get rid of those 3 pounds is to lose 3 pounds. If I do that to one side of the equation, you can think of this as a balance scale. If I subtract 3 on this side, to keep the equation truly equal, I also have to subtract 3 on the other side. And when I do that, if I gain 3 and then lose 3, they cancel. I'm back where I started, and I have 5x is equal to 28 minus 3, 25. Now I have 5 times a number is equal to 25. If you think of the opposite of multiplying by 5, it's divide by 5. So we'll divide by 5 to the other side as well to keep it balanced. You have to, whatever you do to one side of an algebraic equation, you have to do the same thing to the other side to keep it balanced. Well, 5 divided by 5 is 1x, and 25 divided by 5 is 5. In algebra, we do not say there is 1x. We just say there's the variable, which is just x. So we would write our final answer as x is equal to 5. We have our letter, or variable, x, equal to a number on the other side, 5. And that is the goal with algebra as we go through the process. If we look at another example, we have 7x minus 4 is equal to 24. Well, first step you want to do is undo the addition or subtraction. We have minus 4 or subtract 4. Well, the opposite of that is adding 4. Because if I lose 4 pounds on a diet, if I want to get back to where I was before, I would gain 4 pounds, and then I'd be back where I began. If I add 4 to one side, I need to add 4 to the other side to keep it balanced. When we do that, minus 4 plus 4, well, if it's 4 degrees below 0 and it warms up 4 degrees, it's back to 0. We want those two to cancel. Now we have 7x is equal to 28. 7 times a number is equal to 28. Well, the opposite of multiplying by 7 is divide by 7, divide by 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1x, but we just write that as x. And 28 divided by 7 is 4. Once again, we have our variable or our letter x equal to a number 4, and we've solved the equation. What we can then do is go back and take that 4, plug it back in for x. So we're saying this x is really a 4. Well, now I have 7 times x, which is 4, so 7 times 4, which is 28, minus 4 equals 24. And it does work. 28 minus 4 is 24. If I had come up with a solution of 2, x is 2. If I plug that 2 in for x, 7 times 2 is 14, minus 4, I would get 10. So when I plug the solution back in, I get an answer that doesn't work. So I know I've made a mistake somewhere within the equation. The next one, I have negative 2x minus 3 is equal to 1. Well, the first step is to undo the addition or subtraction. Minus 3, well, if it's 3 below and I want to get back up to 0 degrees, I'm going to add 3. If I do it to one side, I do it to the other side to keep it balanced. Minus 3 plus 3 cancel. Negative 2x is equal to 4. Now, as you look at this, it's really negative 2 times x. Negative 2 times a number. Well, the opposite of multiply by negative 2 is divide by negative 2. If I do it to one side, I do it to the other side to keep it balanced. Negative 2 divided by negative 2. Well, you might need to go back and review your rules for integers, but a negative divided by a negative, whenever the signs are the same, you get a positive answer. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. A negative divided by a negative is a positive 1x, but we just write that as x. This goes back to your rules on integers again. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and a positive divided by a negative, negative 2. If we go back and plug that negative 2 back in, negative 2 times x, which is, we're saying x is negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4, and 4 minus 3, positive 1. One more example. This time, if you notice, our variable or our letter is on the right-hand side, but the same rules still prevail for algebra. We're trying to either get a letter equal to a number or a number equal to a letter. Now, this equal sign kind of divides the two sides of the equation. I have 13, a number by itself, equal to 2x plus 3, a letter and a number. Well, I want to try to get that letter by itself, the 2x. The first thing I do is undo the addition or subtraction. To get rid of the plus 3, subtract 3. To keep it balanced, subtract 3 from the other side as well. Now I have 10 is equal to the plus 3 and the minus 3 cancel, 2x, which is 2 times the number. The opposite of multiply by 2 is divide by 2. If I do it to one side, I need to do it to the other side to truly keep it equal. 10 divided by 2 is going to be 5. Bring down your equal sign. 2 divided by 2 is 1x, or x. So it looks a little bit different than the other ones, but you've accomplished the goal that you have for algebra. Either a variable letter equal to a number, or a number equal to a letter. Now, if you were to write it the other way, if it made you feel better, you could rewrite it as x equals 5. But this is the way you want to show your work, so you have a number equal to a letter, and that's the whole goal in algebra. Thank you for joining us for our first video on solving two-step algebraic equations and getting a letter equal to a number or a number equal to a letter, essentially isolating or getting the letter alone on one side. Thank you. Yep.